Hey guys, it's Fleckus. Welcome to Fleckus Talks the Show, episode 102. Today we're going to be talking about Joe Biden maybe going to the bathroom in his pants. Definitely happened. Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito, huge update that may or may not involve us. We got some vax mandates thing to talk about. And as always, we wonder, can anyone pin Fleckus? I don't think so. We will find out today on Fleckus Talks the Show, featuring Richard Rapway. Eric, what do you think?
I think we are welcome to Messianic Age, okay? We live in a trinity of three species: Denisovan Asia, Neanderthal, Europe, Sapien Africa, false narratives, hidden alliances.
This is Fleckus Talks, the podcast, audio only. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Give us a 5-star review.
Before the episode even starts, give us a 5-star review.
It's Fleckus Talks the Show with Richard Rapway. Yes, welcome to the show. So the boys just got back from a hunting trip. Myself, Richard Rapway, typical liberal, a.k.a. Grantley, DC Drano. We all had an amazing time up in Alabama, middle of nowhere. I've never been anywhere like that or been that far south, like south.
Yeah, north but south.
North but south, exactly. We had to go north from Tampa to get there, but very much the south. It was really cool. I loved it. I didn't have any experience either hunting. I have only hunted the iguanas, which you guys all saw. And I've only been hunting the rats that used to live in the house I was living in until like a month ago. So I've only had experience rat hunting and iguana hunting.
Do you want to elaborate on that rat hunting?
I mean, everyone knows what a rat hunting is. It's like when you have rats in your garage between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you go running in there, you turn the lights on and try to startle them. And then as they run up the garage and get to the rafters, trying to get back to their hole, you have like 4 or 5 seconds of, shooting at them with the air gun.
Standard stuff.
Everyone everyone knows what going a little rat hunt in the garage. Everyone does it. Everyone's got the rats. Not anymore, though. Rat Boy and I moved to a cool new place right around the corner, and we are not dealing with any rats right now.
Yeah, that was bad. We had such a nice house, and it was like on the water, like great pool, great setup, and then there were just rats in the garage. So
yeah, it was bad. But I'm not kidding. Like, you bust open the door, you flick the lights on, you make a sound, the rats run up the wall on the rafters, and it's like absolute shootout. I go in there with the air pistol, and I just go poof, 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 poof,
we'd be watching TV.
Rip.
We would be watching TV, and Fleckus would come to me, and it's 12 at midnight, and he'd be like, "Rat run," and he'd be like, "Come on, just come with." And I'd just witness him kick open the door, and just start unloading rounds at.
And I killed one. There was one I shot. Yeah, boom, shot him dead, iced him, instant death. And it was just like you go in there saying a line too, like Toretto. Yeah, it was such a cool experience, and I got a rat. So, pig hunting in Alabama was obviously going to be a step up from that. Real guns this time. I haven't really gone hunting with real guns before, and it was cool. We had a great experience. It was also like it was different. Rapway and I went into a tree stand the last night, and I mean, it was rusty. It was high up. It was a tight space. We got in there, and immediately a brown recluse spider fell down, and Rapway swatted it. And then a frog jumped across both of us, and he thought it was a frog. And I was like, no, it's a very venomous spider. And he's like, no, it's a frog. It's a frog. I'm like, no, there's both. It's a brown recluse spider and a frog. It's just a lot going on in this one. Oh, man.
Yeah, so tree stand, a shaky tree stand that hasn't been sat in for a while. Obviously, you're in danger a little bit. And one of those support beams, how it's all 4 legs and then X's between each leg, 2 of the X's were bent out.
Yeah, completely warped.
One of the legs was on a wood block, and we just got in there very gingerly. And it worked, and it supported our combined heavy weight, so we made it.
Rusty corners, wasps. I swear, it got so loud with those bugs. And I was told, the advice that was given to me was become a tree. Just kind of fall asleep into the space and just settle into it, which I don't know. I couldn't really do that. I was ready to shoot the pig. I was trying my best. We saw it on thermal. There's a big size pig we saw on thermal. We have a video coming out next week. It's a good sized pig. I lined it up. I'm ready to kill it. It would have been the only pig killed in the whole trip. And then, I don't know, something happened where I didn't close the thing all the way, and then it clicked and it missed it by a millimeter, and the bullet didn't go, and the pig heard it and ran off, and that was it. And then I had to walk back to the car in the mud at like 10 p.m., and my feet got stuck in the mud. My Jordans went under the mud, and like my shoe came off. It was bad. The spider thing, like when the spider first fell down and we were in the thing and we swatted it, I was just thinking about that for the rest of the night, and I had a water bottle like by my feet, and I'm like, all right, that water bottle's toast. Like, I'm not going back for the water bottle. And then later in the night, I felt like spider webs on my pants and on my legs, like on my ankle, and like, so the spider was getting involved down there and doing work and setting up shop in a new place, which is very scary.
Mm-hmm. So Fleckus hates camping was last week, and then Fleckus goes hunting is this week.
And Fleckus didn't hate hunting.
No, it was fun. It was very fun. But I mean, you really are just sitting in a tree stand. Like, you're just kind of, it's an ambush. It's not like, I guess there's tracking. There's tracking after the fact and stuff like that. But it really was an ambush. It was like corn in a field. Hey, pigs. And light them up.
And you light them up. The guns were loud. The pellets were big.
Yeah, Fleckus said at one point, like, we were at the hunting camp and there was this like friend who is a very seasoned hunter, and Fleckus had shot a
veteran.
Yeah, and a veteran. Yeah. So it was like a serious guy.
Guy takes his gun seriously.
It's like all factual. He's paying attention to the wind. He's doing everything. And Fleckus, we were shooting a bit actually for the video. You'll see it, sometime next week, maybe later. But it was basically like Fleckus shooting a handgun, hero shot, and then we were trying to replace the bullets afterwards, and Fleckus was like, how many pellets did I shoot? And this guy was like, what did you say, from the other room?
Oh, man.
So
I know they're not pellets. I like to mess with people. The video next week is going to be fantastic. Live rounds.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. On a Hollywood set, they would always use fake guns, but we shot our bits with live rounds. We ain't messing around here at Fleckus Talks.
Yeah.
This ain't no union job.
Yeah.
Here at Fleckus Talks.
We got the drone out.
We got the drone out. Live rounds. That's the kind of stunts we do. Did I do all my own stunts? Richard Rapway, tell the truth?
Yep. 100%.
We bring in any stunt double exactly my size?
No, I don't think we could find them.
Those people don't even exist, especially not where we were in the middle of nowhere, Alabama, population 200 people plus 5 of us.
Stay tuned for the video.
Yeah, stay tuned for the video. It's going to be fantastic. Moving on, very important update. Brian Laundrie. Mm-hmm. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Laundrie.
So Brian Laundrie, the guy who is wanted right now, there's a big manhunt going for him. There's a huge reward. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
How much is that reward? Let me look that up.
I think it's like $300K, but there's like celebrities who have tacked on, so it's probably like $1 million, maybe more. So this search for Brian Laundrie is happening within like 30 minutes of where me and Richard Rapway live.
Yeah, like we've taken Jerry to the dog park.
Exactly. We've been there before. So huge announcement for this Fleckus Talks audience, the hardcore listeners, the people who like Fleckus the most, people are tuning into this podcast. Mm-hmm. Huge announcement. Tomorrow, Richard Rapway and myself are going to Fort DeSoto, and we are going to find Dog the Bounty Hunter, who is trying to find Brian Laundrie.
Yep.
I reached out to Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yep.
They hit me back. And I was like, I want to interview Dog. I want to get involved. But what really, we're trying to live in Dog's wake here. We don't know where Brian Laundrie is, but Dog the Bounty Hunter is searching for him in Fort DeSoto, which is 30 minutes away. So it's like, we don't even need all the tips Dog got. Dog already got the tips. We need to go to Fort DeSoto, find Brian Laundrie, steal the bounty from Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, we're going to front run Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like Dog is, well, we're actually drafting off of him because he got us the lead to Fort DeSoto.
And that's all we needed. And then we're going to run into him, and I'm going to have my own Dog the Bounty Hunter outfit, and it's going to be a video. And it's going to be like, yo, Dog, what are you doing here? And he's going to be like, yo, Dog, what are you doing here? And it's like, I think we're looking for the same guy. Let's exchange info. Let Dog go first. And then
Dog, just tell us what you got first.
I'm keeping it closer to the chest, but obviously we're in the same place. We're obviously both pretty, close to the trail.
Do we know anything about why he's there? It was like the Brian Laundrie's parents like camped there or something recently.
I think it's like a place he's been, and maybe someone's seen him or a person that looked like him, and he like was talking about how he can go 6 days on crackers alone. Like he's a survivalist type. And he's probably just hiding out there.
Okay.
And we're going to find him. And Brian, if you're listening somehow to this podcast, I saw an American flag picture in your dorm room. I saw the camo.
Okay.
Reach out to Zach at fleckistalks.com, ZACH. We will do an interview with you. We'll get your voice out there. If something happened, we want to hear all sides. We're not going to jump to any conclusions. But if you want to get your message out there, Fleckis Talks is a good, fair place to start.
I think his message is, I'm on the run and I'm not doing interviews.
Imagine tackling Brian Laundrie, completely working off Dog the Bounty Hunter's wake, and then being like, yeah, the bounty's mine. Like 500K is mine. I have him. It doesn't matter who flushed him out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who saw him first. It's who tackled him. Because then there's going to be a fight between Dog's going to try and steal our bounty.
Yeah.
It's like when you catch a tuna and you're bringing it in and you're reeling it in. Like Dog's the shark that's going to come and bite a hole in your tuna and just get the free lunch. He's going to try and fight us for Brian Laundrie. So we might need to bring our own team to protect us post-apprehending Brian Laundrie. Mm-hmm. Once we get Brian down and we have apprehended, phase 2 is keep Dog off us.
So what's the status right now? Dog is in Fort DeSoto.
And we'll tell Brian, we'll be like, Brian, we're not going to turn you in. We just want to talk. Dog is close to your trail. And then we'll bring Brian to the police station.
Drive him up in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Toss him out.
We're just going to zip tie you. It's no big deal. All right. So we reached out to Dog. They hit us back and told us they're at Fort DeSoto. Now it's on social media. We're going there tomorrow. We're going to find Brian Laundrie. We're going to get the bounty. And we're going to make enemies with Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing on Friday? All right, moving on. This part of the show is the part of the show where we play a clip and we ask, did Joe Biden go to the bathroom in his pants?
Yep.
So let's do the clip.
So this
interrupts or unbalances the Belfast Good Friday Accords. That's the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. That's the.
Thank you very much. Let's go. Thank you. What did he say?
I have no idea. I hope the microphone got it.
So this was like a week ago too, and I kind of got half press coverage or something.
Yeah, this happened last week, and everyone was like, "Why? That was so weird. Like, why did they exit the press conference early with Boris Johnson? Like, he was in the middle of a sentence, and the press was like, all right, time to go."
Like, actually in the middle of a sentence.
And then the people in the background are like, did he shit? And the guy's like, I think so. I hope audio got it. Something along those lines.
It's very unclear. It's like, did he shit? Did he say it? Like, I don't really know what the person's saying.
We don't know. The only person who does know is that press coordinator who got everyone out of the room because they hit the eject button. They pulled the thing and got it. Boom. They're out of the top. Like, they're like, all right, that was him going to the bathroom in his pants. We have to get everyone out of here. That's like
we've seen a lot.
Abort 2 keys in the thing. Boom. Launch the nuke. Like, that's a big one.
Yeah. No, we've seen a lot of those. Like, okay, everyone, that's it. Enough questions. And this was probably the most forceful I've seen.
Most forceful. Boris Johnson probably knows too.
Yeah.
And then someone on Reddit said that the room smelled really bad. And if, obviously CNN and MSNBC and all these Muppets and Anderson Cooper, they say whatever they want about Trump. That's all made up. So I can report that. Someone on Reddit said the room smelled really bad. And that would be a telltale sign of someone going to the bathroom in their pants.
Yeah. Fair.
So a source that was close to the situation said.
So confirmed, Joe Biden did dump in his pants.
Confirmed. Moving on. Stephen Colbert, a couple of nights ago, doing the vaccine song to that tequila song, like da 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 da. Dun, 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 and then he says vaccine. It's like you just like vaccina. Like it's not even a sound bit.
No, it's peak comedy, bro.
Absolute insanity. I think one positive from COVID and the lockdowns, especially when they didn't have live studio audiences, was seeing all these people just like a fish in an inch of water, just struggling and flailing as they deliver jokes to a non-hot room.
Yeah. You need that bus full of Midwest women like going, oh my God, Stephen Colbert.
Exactly.
No matter what you say, you're so funny. And I guess
that hot room was the black magic that operated Hollywood for so long, where it was just like this manufactured consent, this manufactured acceptance. Oh, this is funny. Everyone's laughing. And it's like, oh, that must be funny. And you're watching on TV, and it's like you're actually subliminally getting communicated with, and you're being told something that's not true, but the laughing like kind of sneaks it by you. But not anymore.
Yeah, there's that whole like John Oliver like pace thing. Well, something, ha 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 ha, and you can't even process it. It's like I'm pretty sure I read an article about that once, how it's like designed for you to be like one step behind and like catching up and laughing. And the cat's out of the bag. You did the vaccine song.
Exactly. The cat's out of the bag. Wait a sec. You're just a guy with an accent. John Oliver. You know, it's like by the time you realize it, like if you didn't have an accent and what he's saying is, it's like the moment at the end of the movie when you realize the person's been dead the whole time. And you're like, wait a second, John Oliver's not even funny.
Yeah.
It's all these Harvard kids in his writing room.
Yeah. But I mean, that was one of the biggest pure propaganda pieces I've seen in recent memory. It's just like they didn't even try to make it funny. Like the whole point is it's funny because he's doing it. But it's just like, who told you to do this? Who really told you to do this? And it's like Stephen Colbert. He's at Martha's Vineyard for the Obama party. He's deep.
The only thing left he can do to even stir a reaction is to like humiliate himself.
Yeah.
So he did it. He danced with Chuck Schumer, I think, one time.
I saw. Yeah, that's exactly.
So it's like all he's got left is, oh my gosh, Stephen Colbert is doing this physical action. Like he's done. Like he squeezed the fruit dry.
Yeah, there's this thing where it's like he had a heyday that was like pretty good, I guess, before politics and when he was doing actually edgier bits or funnier stuff. And then you get to late night and it's just dead man zone. It's nothing. It's so dumbed down and it's like sad, but I guess you get $20 million for it.
Yeah. So it's like these organizations, these institutions, these celebrities, these characters, they establish like a cool counterculture part of their branding in a way where it's like, oh yeah, Stephen Colbert, like when he was on like back to back with Jon Stewart,
yeah,
that was like some of the best TV. It was so funny. It was like directionally pretty okay. It was like good normal content that like wouldn't even exist right now.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a cool way to do politics. He didn't sell out yet. He established his credibility as someone who's fair and cool, didn't sell out, and then they slowly buy him out, just like all these other companies, the NFL, everybody. LeBron.
Yeah, it's like they're buying a front man.
Exactly. And now they're just like a talking head for an ideology, and you bought him out. And it's like same with certain companies, like Obey Propaganda, that company that was like a skater company.
Yeah.
It's like now they're posting like BLM stuff and like vaccination stuff. And it's
Obey
like
Propaganda.
You guys became the propaganda. Like you got too big. You can't get that big without kind of getting taken over by the cabal, the deep state. The piss drinkers. And that's kind of how it played out. Harvard's another example of that. You see Harvard has a new study with all these people that love Joe Biden.
Yeah,
they're all vaccinated.
Yeah, it's the Harvard freshman poll, which apparently they do every year. And it said 90% of Harvard freshmen support Joe Biden. Obviously, and this was, I guess, in a question like preferring Trump to Joe Biden. So 10%, even though 50% of the population voted for Trump, 90% of the Harvard incoming freshmen like Joe Biden. And this is like when they came into class. So this is after probably 6 months of Joe Biden, right?
So 6 months of not paying attention to Joe Biden. It's just, we got to get rid of the other guy.
Still hate Trump, yeah.
Just got to hate Trump. And now they're all vaccinated and doing classes online. Maybe that's
the
business school.
Yeah.
But just another example of the institutions that have gone away and gotten away from us. Harvard doesn't matter anymore. Because if the kids were smart, they'd be based. And if they were based, they wouldn't be this disproportionately leftist and uninformed and all these things. So now it's like another institution. Harvard used to mean something. Now you graduate and you're pansexual or whatever.
Yeah.
So Harvard's done. I'm a seller of Harvard. It's
70
times
grand
like,
a year.
Yeah, 70 grand a year. And what? It's times like this, I'm not proud to be an Ivy Leaguer.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I just heard Jerry like maybe pissing over there.
No, I think that was him eating some plastic.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, going to an Ivy League school, if you were to do it all over again, I mean, we played football, so it's a little different. Like,
but if they were like, you have to get vaccinated to play football and go back in 2011 or 12, whenever, I would have probably done it. and just been like, oh, whatever, I have to get a shot because I had no idea what's even going on.
Me too.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's tough. We'll get to some of that, I'm sure, in the questions. We have a question section coming up next.
Yeah.
Before we get there, obviously the show is brought to you by Fleckus Talks. Say FleckusTalks.com, which is, I think it which takes you to ShopFleckus.com, which is who the sponsor of the show is. ShopFleckus.com, best merch in the game. We have Trader Joe's Army Surplus shirt, absolutely hilarious. We have the Clinton's Crime Family shirt, Arrest Cuomo, all the good stuff. ShopFleckus.com, use code Jerry, get 15% off, and the shirt comes out to like less than $20. So you're basically robbing me. Do that, support the show, support Fleckus, keep it 100, get a cool shirt. It's a full 360 win, as Alex Jones says. Okay, cool. Moving on. This week we have a huge Q&A coming. Last week we said send us your questions. A ton of people sent us their questions, and we're going to go through them right now. It's going to be, I think, more than usual. This is the first one, so we're going to do like a double session of the Q&A, but a lot of people are asking some stuff, a lot of the same questions, so we're going to get some answers, maybe.
Yeah, the questions are built up because they've had no outlet for so long.
Richard Ratboy has collected some questions. I have sent him some questions I saw as well. So we're going to go through them, and let's see what you guys are wondering. Let's see what you guys are thinking about. Let's see what questions you guys have that you need answers to.
Okay, question number 1. This is from Daniel, spelled kind of weird. Have you ever been to Iran? Have you ever been to Iran?
No, I have not been to Iran or Iran. I say Iran.
I say Iran too.
I'm saying Iran. It's actually Iran. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's whatever I say.
No. And that wasn't one of the questions we got a lot. So question number 1, no, I have not been to Iran.
Okay, moving on. Question number 2.
Iran.
Do you think our military is compromised?
I think the top part of the military, like the millie types, I think there are some generals that are definitely compromised. I think they did a really good, not a good job, but they made a really large effort to get rid of all the base people. I think obviously the troops as a whole love the troops, and I think they are patriotic people. But I do think the government is doing their best to get those base people out. So you see them kind of getting squeezed. There's situations where you have like a vax mandate now, and it's like if it's a lot of soldiers that aren't going to want that COVID vax, now those are the guys who are going to leave, hopefully not dishonorably discharged, but those are the guys who are going to leave. So if there is a next step to this government tyranny that involves the military, a lot of the people that would have stepped up and stopped that from happening within won't be there because X amount of months ago, they didn't follow through with the COVID required vaccine.
They wiped them out. So it's kind of like a leading indicator of how based or how manipulatable or I guess moldable you are.
Yep. And we're heading in a direction where we're not fully compromised yet, but they're doing their plan and they are getting people out that are not going to be okay with what's probably coming.
This is from George. How can I fast track my way to the U.S.? Need to get out of Canada ASAP.
George, I am a person who doesn't open his mail. I am not good at applications and logistics and going through processes like that.
Yeah.
So if it's come down to where I'm like your final hope, please don't let that be the truth.
Yeah.
Ask anyone. Ask the mailman. They'll probably know.
Throw out your passport, sneak down to the southern border, pretend you're Haitian or something.
Yeah. Be Haitian.
All right. This next question is from Kobe. What should I do if my company tries to force me to take the vaccine?
Tough question. A lot of people ask me this all the time. I would obviously, don't quit. Number 1, don't quit.
Make them fire you.
Make them fire you. I'm not telling anyone what to do, but if you really don't want to get the vax, don't quit. Let them fire you because there will be something that comes from this legally down the road. And I don't think what they're doing is legal. I think they're just really, really trying to pressure people to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually legally can. So I think this is all kind of like a front and like, woo, 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 all bark, no bite. They legally can't do it. And they're just trying to get everyone who's like on the fence to be like, whatever, I'll get it. I don't want to deal with this.
Yep.
So I think it's all psyop.
Find employees who you think are also based and kind of talk to them.
Yeah,
talk to
exactly.
Workers a little bit, like collectivize maybe a little bit if you're going to, hire a lawyer between 10 people.
And there's a huge percentage of the country that's not going to get vaccinated. So there will be businesses that exist completely because of that reason alone. Like there'll be a reaction to this. A huge percentage of the country is not for it. So don't worry. There'll be a bounce back.
All right. Next question. This is from Abby. Your opinion on modern dating culture?
Ooh. Fleckus talks dating. Modern dating culture. I think a lot of people think it's worse than ever to date right now. And that's probably true, like generally speaking for everybody. But I think on the right, we're in a better spot because at least we have like a core value system and fundamentals we agree with when it comes to guys and girls. And on the left, it's like, if you're looking for a relationship that's going to be like a loving relationship and you're dating to get married and have a family, searching for that, you can find it on the right a lot easier than you can find it on the left, or that it can exist in the left.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot harder because they want to like kill their babies and have an open relationship and they want you to be weak and it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's a great time to be dating because you can have standards that eliminate a lot of potential people. And if you do meet someone who is conservative as well in this time, it's like now that person is a potential prospect. Maybe that wouldn't have been the case before. So if you're like an ugly guy, you can still find a lovely conservative wife if you stand for the truth and you like conservative values and you're not a bitch boy and you're not going to get vaccinated and let them mask your kid.
So stand for something. Just don't go wherever the wind blows you.
Exactly. Stand for something and you'll find some lovely lady who appreciates it.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All right. Next question from Jonah. Your take on guns and responsible marijuana usage?
Oh, Feds have entered the chat. Feds have entered the chat. That's an absolute Fed question. Yeah, absolute Fed question. Don't break the law. We're cutting his balls off.
Yeah, we're cutting Jerry's nuts off.
All right, October 9th. It's happening. Sorry, Jerry.
All right, next question. This is from Papa. What is it going to take for people to stop believing everything the media tells them?
Good question. Now, I think more than ever with all the lockdowns and the overreach and Joe Biden being a Muppet, I think it's going to start hitting closer to home and like during Trump years, because before the lockdowns and stuff, things were getting better. It was easier to create these like stories and these fake things and these things to get mad about Trump. But now with that Biden's in there and it's actually really bad, I think people are going to have like closer to home experiences that they didn't have before. And it's going to bring a lot of people to the light.
I always think personally, it's like whatever you got to find one story that they really get wrong, you know? And it's like the more things that they do that for, COVID, Trump, these are like large ones that happened over the last 2 years or, you know, a couple of years with Trump. It's just like these kind of people or things that are antithetical to the media, like that's the biggest red pill awakening. Like if it's something that's personal to you or something like that. But
yeah,
that's kind of like micro basic. Like that's on a case by case thing.
Yeah. You're a politically moderate nurse and you're going to get fired to keep America safe from the COVID virus because you didn't get vaccinated. And
you were a hero all last year when it was like unknown and actually like could have been scary before data was out.
Yeah.
And now you're just a piece of shit.
And now you're the enemy and you're out. So stuff like that is going to wake up a lot of people because a lot of people have family members, people in their lives that will be directly affected, if not themselves. So I think it's going to get worse, but also better at the same time.
The way it goes worse will awaken more people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So things will get worse, but that would be like short term. And then long term, things will get better because people will live in a different way where they don't rely on the things that are making their life bad, like the institutions or the public schools or the poisoned food, you know, all the banking system, whatever it is. You can live a life that relies less on these things, live a better life. So while the people who are relying on those institutions, while their lives continue to deteriorate, they'll see the life you're living and they'll be like, ooh, that looks better. And then as it gets worse and worse, and you live in, like, for example, Los Angeles, and you're like, oh, you know, 2015 Los Angeles, things are great. 2020 Los Angeles, things are not so great anymore. 2025 Los Angeles, things are even worse. So it's like that time period, that realization for these people, it's going to be like, oh, maybe living in Arkansas on a lake is actually more appealing. So I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to get better and worse at the same time. For those who are looking for alternatives, life will be good. For those living in satanic dominions, things will probably get worse.
Yeah, so you can't get Nobu anymore, but you also don't have to walk on streets with human shit and tents, needles. And then if someone just breaks your car window for fun, you don't even have anything in there, but you got to pay. And all of a sudden, the Arkansas Life Lake.
Then everything gets ruined.
Life.
Do those videos of San Francisco where people just have bags of stuff?
Those are my favorite.
And they just take it out.
When they strong arm shoplift, where it's a new form of shoplifting.
Yeah. And you have your mask on and you just go, oh, well, whatever. We're not supposed to stop them. And then what happens? Walgreens or CVS goes, ooh, this location lost this much money because of all this theft. Let's close it down. And then the people who were using that don't have that resource anymore. And now living there is that much worse. Yeah. Moving on. Next question.
I think there were 15 Walgreens that closed in San Francisco just because they couldn't justify it. And it's like Megacorp USA is like, cut them.
Yep. Next question.
All right. This is from Alec. Have you picked a Halloween costume out yet?
I have not picked a Halloween costume out yet. The front runner, which it is every year, I just haven't done it, is LL Cool J in a wheelchair. That's my dream costume. I think it's hilarious. I can get like a velour light blue suit, white do-rag, little Band-Aid thing. I'm LL Cool J in a wheelchair.
That's like a 10-year bit.
It's a 10-year bit for me that I've never done.
He keeps coming back to it, but one day.
One day, maybe this year.
The wheelchair is the hard part, so obviously he's not going to do it this year. He can't get it together. We have 1 month to get a wheelchair. He's not going to do it. All right, next question. You vaccinated?
No, of course not.
You had COVID, correct?
I had COVID. It wasn't that bad.
So you got that natty immunity?
That's like the thing that people don't realize. It's like, hey, why are you wearing a mask? Oh, I don't want to get COVID, blah, 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 the pandemic. And it's like, have you gotten COVID? Yeah, I did. Was it bad? No, I was only sick for 2 days. And it's like, do you hear what you're saying? Like, snap out of it. Like, what do you know? So I had it. It was completely no big deal. All my friends got it with me.
Yep.
We were kind of not feeling great for 5 days.
Fleckus was patient 0.
I was the first one to get it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting vaccinated. Yeah. There's a whole process. I saw this meme that was like, they tried to scare you. They tried to bribe you. They tried to guilt you. They tried to shame you. They tried to blame you. Now they're going to try and fire you.
Yeah. And
it's like, well, what you can't do is pin me. Because if you could pin me, then you can vaccinate me. And I've become unpinnable. You can become ungovernable. I have become unpinnable.
Yeah.
Next question.
So if you did have to take the vaccine, which would you take?
See my previous answer. I've become unpinnable. Me getting vaccinated would be people coming to my door. I wouldn't even open it, but I guess they break in and then like 6 guys wrestle me down. They inject me with something that knocks me out unconscious and they inject me with the vaccine. So whatever those people have. All right, whatever the National Guard military is handing out a year from now.
For sure. All right. So next question, kind of a follow-up. Thoughts on Trump's vaccination status?
I think people can get vaccinated if they want to get vaccinated. Trump's an old guy. He wanted to get vaccinated.
Had COVID as well.
He had COVID as well. He got vaccinated, whatever. I don't like, obviously, when he talks about the vaccine that much, but he hasn't pushed mandates. He hasn't said that he's pro-mandate. He's, of course, not.
Yeah.
And he's also kind of chilled out with it lately. Like, he realized that vaccine wasn't like one of his strongest issues. He says at the rally, people boo him. And he's like, all right, I'm not going to bring it up. With the last speech he gave, I don't think he mentioned warp speed or the vaccine once, which is great. And it's the mandates that are the problem. I'm not going to get into what I think the vaccine is myself, but I'm never getting it. And I respect everyone's opinion. You can get it if you want, but just don't make me do anything. Because once you make me do what I don't want to do, I'm not a free person. And I feel like if you get me in a corner and make me squirm, it's going to be bad.
You're going to thrash.
I'm going to thrash.
All right.
I've been working out a lot with Rat Boy.
Yep. We have been
We've become
heavy.
Unpinnable for this exact reason.
Exactly. Okay, next question. This is from Minty. Why hasn't anyone talked about how masking cops depersonalizes and conceals them?
I don't know, Minty. Sign up for the newsletter. Because I talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Fleckus is actually huge on that, and especially in Australia.
Australia, those cops throw that lady on the ground and spray her and keep walking. It's like, how could you ever do that to an old lady? How could you ever blindside someone, throw them on the ground, crack their face open? It's because you have a mask on and you're just taking orders.
Yeah. Oh, just until you're negative.
Yeah. I'm just taking orders. So now you're just taking orders and you have the mask. So it's like you're not you anymore. And that's 100% the problem. And that was the whole thing. The mask versus unmasked is all about people submitting and wearing the mask and showing their allegiance, and then the others being the unmasked. So it's us versus them. That was the divide they wanted. And yeah, good battle lines.
Yep.
Next.
From Jits. Will anyone with a large platform like you say now is the time for civil war? Grab your guns.
Another Fed question.
Fed has entered the chat. Yeah.
More Fed questions. I don't think so. I can't imagine. I mean, as soon as you say, hey, guys, it's time for civil war, get your guns, it's like you're off the platform.
Yeah, you're snatched
You're
up,
done.
you're gone.
It's over. So it's like, I don't think, yeah, so you'll probably never see me post that. Unless things get to like some sort of apocalypse, crazy time, and it's like, everyone's got their battery charged because the power's been off. And it's like the last day of the internet. And it's like, see you guys. I mean, it's not happening. It's not happening from my Fleckus accounts. And hopefully we don't get there. But
And then I'd leave it at that.
let's just leave it at that.
Don't be a Fed. Don't be a Fed.
Exactly.
to us.
Don't be a Fed. Don't ask incriminating questions.
All right, this is from Gibbons. Does Biden taking the booster shot on a TV set feel like a Black Mirror episode to you?
Yeah.
Obviously, yes.
Of course it does.
The fake set. And and it's like, all you need is one guy to take the wide angle lens picture and it's blown up.
Yeah. And then some of this stuff I think is just to bait us to waste our times. Like that could just be bait for the people who are going to be like, Biden's not the real president. He's actually in a studio set in Burbank. QAnon's real. Trump's the president. So it's like, I think it's bait for those people. But it's funny because it's like someone will tweet, like the White House builds fake set for Biden to get vaccinated. And then fact checkers be like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, there was a fake set built for Biden to get vaccinated.
Yeah. If it wasn't a fake set, what was the windows?
Yeah, it was a fake set. So, yeah, next question. I don't know if I even answered the question, but next question.
Yeah, it is a Black Mirror episode.
Yes, of course.
Next question is from Speedy. Can you do a handstand?
I'll defer to Richie Rappaway.
No. An assisted handstand, maybe.
What about
You have a strong upper body. You have a lot of body weight, though, too.
what about handstand into a wall, come off the wall for, 3 seconds counts?
Yeah, I don't know, man. My shoulder would explode. I can't do that, so.
We'll say maybe. Most likely.
We could try.
We'll just say likely. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just mark it as a hard no and just circle
Next
back.
question.
All right, this is from some account that doesn't have a name in it. Are we ever going to go back to normal?
And we kind of covered this before. It's like pockets of people who are based will go back to normal and live a better and more normal life than this. And then the pockets of the blue cities will get worse and worse and deteriorate. And then living normal is a choice. So it's like, I'm back to normal.
I'm living a very normal life, yeah.
I wake up, I drink coffee, I don't wear a mask, I talk to my friends, I work all day.
So this is a regional question because
This is a regional question.
if you're in California, it's obviously a different answer than if you're in Florida, and then if you're in the rural South, then Chicago.
100% a regional question. And it's just a matter of like what you're willing to deal with. And do you think, like, if you live in LA, I lived in LA from 2014 to 2020. And it's like in 2018, I was living downtown Skid Row and I was like, something bad's coming. I'm moving to the suburbs, 2019. In 2019, I was like, all right, I'm moving to Florida. Something really bad's coming. Bam, COVID happened. Lockdowns, all the horrible stuff. So it's like I kind of saw the writing on the wall and I bounced. If you didn't, you probably eventually will. So you should.
Fair.
So that's my advice. And I remember the question, but that was the answer.
Alex asks, best Billy song. I believe this is Billy Joel.
Yep. Best Billy Joel song. Zach, you can answer this too.
I like All About Soul.
All About Soul. I like Pressure. Here you are. Na, na, na. 3 men on and 2 men out. Bottom of the 9th. I didn't get how does it go?
I don't know. Pressure.
So yeah, I like Pressure. I like All for Lena. I like Leningrad. I like She's Always a Woman. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Marinate with the Papa Steady, the King and the Queen of the Prom. Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's what I feel
on.
like is your favorite.
Yeah. I love that stuff. That's my favorite. Billy Joel's an absolute classic. Long Island hero, icon. Next question.
All right. Gabe asks, why is there a jelly bean but not a peanut butter bean?
Well, actually,
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces
Yeah.
are peanut butter beans.
Yep.
So let's try to keep it to questions that actually make sense.
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
Do you really say Reese's Pieces?
Yeah.
Why do you say Pieces?
I don't know.
Pieces isn't up for debate. And then if you say Pieces, clearly your Reese's is off.
Because I say Reese's and I let Reese's lead.
But if you handed someone a single
A
Reese,
Reese.
you wouldn't say Himmy or Reese.
A Reese.
A Reese?
All right.
Okay.
Next question. Moving on. Don't want to get stuck in this mud.
All right. Leave us 5-star reviews. Next question.
All right. This guy asks, no name again, what are you planning on doing when Red Dawn becomes a reality in this country?
We've already answered that. I've become unpinnable.
Yeah, Red Dawn, China comes, right?
China comes.
So
and then what?
Still not get pinned.
And then what? They wrestle me. Someone comes to the door. And it ain't even gonna be that easy. I got man traps in the house. You come to the door, it's not gonna be like, overwhelmed, and you get me and 5 guys. Red Dawn doesn't come to me.
You come to Red Dawn.
I come to Red Dawn.
All right. Nate asks, is California a lost cause?
Yeah, we kind of already covered that. Yes, get out.
Yeah.
Get out and start fresh.
Or move rural and, still
It ain't going to get better.
I can't imagine living in a state where there's a 10% income tax and expenses are high as hell and taxes are crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that anymore.
And Hollywood and LA is a satanic principality. You can't, you should avoid that.
Yeah.
Next question.
This guy asks, why do most ignore Freemasonry and its influence in politics and society?
That's a good question. I don't. And it's something that's easy to see. Once you see it, you don't know it's there. And then once you see it, it's everywhere. So I don't know why people ignore it. It's on the money. Everyone did it. It's the founding fathers. It's hundreds of years old. Is it thousands of years old? No. Yeah, maybe. So I don't know.
Okay. Nunez asks, how do you feel about SafeMoon now?
I still love SafeMoon. I love the token. I love the team. This is actually going to be a very niche question because not everyone probably follows SafeMoon. Mm-hmm. But they cut some of the fat over at the team. And I love the token. I never sold. I bought more. It dipped. It went up and it came all the way back down. And I bought it all the way down. I love the token. I'm not giving financial advice.
Yeah, but you're still a believer in it.
But I love SafeMoon. I love the token, and it's going to rip. And now is a great time to buy. But yeah, we got smoked on SafeMoon. Well, it went up. It ripped. But then it dipped. And we're still very much in profit. It's doing better than we bought in. Mm-hmm. But we could have gotten off and on a few times.
Definitely.
But you can't. How can you do it? Basically, every time I buy something, it goes down. And then every time I sell, the next week, it goes up. So I'm just holding and adding and accumulating, and I feel like we're at the bottom of the lows. I love SafeMoon. I love Thomas, Papa, John Caroni's fine. Let's go.
For sure.
Next question.
What to do as a college student getting pressured to get vaxxed or kicked out of school?
Interesting. I mean, if you don't care about the vaccine and you want to get it, go ahead. I don't like the vaccine. I'm not getting it. It's tough because you got parents who I'm sure are like, no, you're going to college, you're getting the vaccine. It's hard. So that's tough advice. It's just a matter of how much it means to you. And if it's something that you're going to regret and not sit well with, there'll be a whole ecosystem and community of the non-vax people if that's what things lead to. So don't do it if you don't want to. Just hold out.
All right. Nicholas asks, do you find a lot of reasonable common ground people for every extremist you interview?
I get asked that a lot. No. People think I interview 10 people, 9 are smart and 1 stupid, and I use the 1. It's actually the opposite. I interview 10 people. Everyone gets used. Most people, if you're at these political events, are not informed. Because if you were, you wouldn't be part of a group that stands for what's not really going on. So, yeah, there's not many rational people in there. The days of the left being left and liberal are over.
Shut up. Shut up, Jerry. Hey.
Left and liberal are not the same thing anymore. And the mistake is thinking it's left versus right. It's really radical leftist versus everybody. So if you're at a radical leftist event, you're not rational. You're not a principled liberal. It's over. Next question.
All right. Ryan asks, would people feel more comfortable getting the shot if it didn't feel so forced upon us?
Yeah. Yeah. If the people who were trying to put it on us weren't like the CNN people and Don Lemon and Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein's friends, I think people would feel more comfortable. But seeing who's for it and who wants it, I think that is enough to keep a lot of rational people away. So yeah, if they were like, oh, it's no big deal, Trump made it, do what you want, we'll go back to normal, I think you could have gotten a lot of more conservatives and rational people on board. But once they start forcing it, it's kind of like when we go to get Jerry and we're like, hey, Jerry, like, come here. And you kind of have a different tone in your voice and you have like the leash. And he's like, where are we? We're going somewhere else. Like, where are we really going? And then he's going to the vet. Like that tone, it's like the same thing. It's like, I'm not going to the vet. You're not dragging me anywhere.
Yeah. 100%.
Next question.
All right. So Leland asks, what is the latest on your stockpile of gyro meat?
You can answer that one.
Yeah. We didn't order any yet. I mean, we have the link ready to rip on a 10-pound block. We didn't order it because we went on this hunting trip and we didn't want a 10-pound block of gyro meat just sweating on our front porch in Florida heat. So,
yeah. We made the right choice. I actually had a gyro for dinner. It was great. But we have not acquired the bulk yet.
Yeah, the desire is still there. The demand is still there. We're waiting on execution.
That's right. Sure is.
All right. Willie asked, do you think the moon landing was fake or real?
Well, I feel like if I say I don't think it's real, there's an instant attack on my credibility forever. But I'll tell you something. In 1960 whatever.
9.
You're going to tell me you sent some tin can up into space and landed it on the moon, and then the pictures you have of it are those pictures? And then what? You did like a live feed to the Earth? I don't know. I mean, I hope we did.
I think we did.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Yep.
So, I don't know. We're probably, but I don't know. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to a lot of these conspiracies that are the big ones, for example, the Earth being flat. Fleckus is not a flat earther. But if you asked Fleckus to explain to you why the Earth is round, I couldn't. So I think it is, obviously I'm not a flat earther, but it's, it's one of those things where it's like the moon landing doesn't look right based on the photos. And I don't know space that good to explain how this tin can with the skinny legs brought a golf cart there. So maybe, I don't know. Ask Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz will punch you if you,
and
he'll swing.
Or if you're a kid, he'll be like, we never went to the moon, and have a weird clip like that. Buzz, and then when you look at Buzz's eyes every time he gets an award, you can kind of tell he's like, I just want to tell everyone the truth. And it rots him from the inside. Buzz is probably a drunk.
All right. Clint asks, if you had to cook a turkey over an open fire, what sauce would you marinate the turkey in? Pretty specific question, Clint. What are you planning?
Yeah, Clint. I don't do turkey like that. Next question.
Okay. Did you see Joe Biden crap himself talking to Boris Johnson?
Yes. It was the first thing we covered. It was the
Michael.
thing.
Yeah. We already talked about it.
We already talked about this, dude. It's the first thing we said.
All right. Any news of China undergoing an energy crisis and power grid failure?
Actually, yes. A friend of mine whose business does imports from China or whatever says that they're shutting down like a lot of their non-essential factories for like 2 days a week from like now October 1st, I think, till April. So that's kind of crazy. And they're saying it's like some environmental thing. I think China's running out of energy.
Interesting.
So heard it here first. But maybe we all go into some sort of power thing, like a self-induced power outage. I feel like that's kind of coming. I don't know why. That's just
Who would do that? Who would be the perpetrator of that?
I don't know. That's what my spidey sense tells me. Maybe China. Probably China.
All right.
Next question.
All right. This guy asked, truck or car guy?
Car guy. I had a truck in high school. It was cool. I know how to drive a truck. I'm a car guy. I have an SL 500 1997 Mercedes convertible. Absolute iconic car. At the time, it was worth like $100 and something thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got it for like less than 10. So absolute great deal. And you have the experience of like coolest guy in America drives this car in 1997. 20 years later, still the coolest guy in America driving the coolest car.
Smart.
That's how I rationalize it. That's how I
Leatherman jacket, 97 Mercedes.
Yep. Absolutely the least conventional car, 2-seater, very little space to bring anything. I only drive with the top down, and it rains every day in Florida. So it's what's the word for like not a car that makes sense?
Impractical? Or?
Very impractical car. Thank you. Yeah. Next question.
All right, this is from our friend Jake Hoffman, who's running for state senate in Florida.
Yep, shout out to Jake Hoffman.
Also the president of TBYR.
TBYR, great club. Tampa Bay Young Republicans. They do a great job.
And he has a very excellent and on-topic question. Who can pin you?
Triple H? I don't know.
Steve Kuklo.
Steve Kuklo. Steve Kuklo can
trying to think of people on the right.
Yeah, Steve Kuklo can pin me. He could probably pin me.
Yeah.
It would be an interesting battle.
Yeah.
He's very strong.
He's bulky. He's very strong.
I think I'm going to jump on his back.
Ian Smith Fitness?
Ian Smith Fitness could maybe pin me. Joe Rogan can't
heavy.
pin me.
I think you're pretty heavy.
I'm very heavy. So if you can outlast me and not get mauled and taken to the ground, you could probably get me. Like if it's a boxing match, I'm
short arms,
not
low
what
cardio.
I'm built for. Short arms, low cardio. Okay, that's enough. Next question.
All right, sorry, Jake. Only a few people. This person asks, "How do all the guys know each other?"
Crew question. Very nice.
What guys? Us?
Yeah, me, Richard Rapboy, DC Drano, typical liberal, always right. Typical liberal and always right are going to get married. They're engaged. They're good friends of ours. They live around the corner here in St. Pete. Drano lives in Tampa. We all know each other from covering these political events over the years. I know Rapboy since 2008. We went to college together, played football together.
Yep.
Best friends.
Thank you.
For the whole time. Drano I've known since 2017. We lived in LA. We hung out at events. We went to protests. That was right when he started his account. He was a lawyer. And I remember we went to a protest the first time I met him. I was like, all right, I'll meet you at the McDonald's right outside the protest. And he's like, cool. And part of my gig at the time was like, people didn't know what side I was on. And I would kind of float around and ask questions and they let their guard down and, whatever. And Drano, the first time I met him, came into the McDonald's wearing a MAGA hat. And he's like, walked over to me and I was like, oh no, like chill. You're going to blow up my spot.
We're undercover, bro.
We're undercover. But great friends, typical liberal, another great friend. We've known him for years. Really good crew. We hang out pretty much daily.
Yep.
Pretty much daily.
I met all of them through Fleckus.
It's a great situation here in Florida. We have a great community. Love those guys. Next question.
All right. Henry asks, what's your perspective on people waking up, finding God, etc., due to the push to the left by media/politic?
Yes. Good question. I think that's kind of like an ongoing theme. We'll make this the last question. For me, that's kind of the experience I had. I was raised Catholic. I had Christmas and I was confirmed and baptized, but I didn't really lean into it and try to make it a thing. I kind of just wanted to live my own life and I was selfish and I wanted to live in the world and experience these worldly things. And then politics happened and you kind of see what's going on and then you kind of look behind the curtain and you realize it's not right versus left, Democrat versus Republican. It's good versus evil. And I saw all the evil on the left and what they were doing, devil worshiping, child sacrificing, all the crazy stuff, spirit cooking, all these horrible things. And I kind of realized if people are that evil and worshiping the devil for power, that proves that God is real. So that was kind of like the realization I had. So I kind of backwards found God that way. And then I saw the good that having God in your life can bring. And then it put me on a better track where I'm more fulfilled and working on this journey of improving the country, improving myself, all these things that I wouldn't have had if I didn't find God and believe in God because of politics. So it was kind of politics was the platform and where the battle was happening. And then that's when I saw it and was like, oh, this is not politics. This is spiritual.
It's life. It's spiritual.
It's bigger. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have that realization as well, because I think if you bring people to the right from the left, there's a very high chance if you restore their faith or bring them to God as well. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. After all that, hell yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for watching another Fleckus Talks in the Books. Please like, share, subscribe. all the good stuff. 5-star reviews. I was just going to say that.
Get to the 5-star and listening. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Please send this to a friend. This is a brand new podcast. Leave some reviews, leave some comments, send it around. We have a whole new show in this format coming your way. We hope you like it. I'm not seeing it as a waste of time. A lot of people message me and were like, dude, I love the show. The podcast is so funny.
Yeah.
I listen to it while I'm driving or I'm at work with headphones in. So we're going to kind of lock that Friday, Fleckus Friday down. That's the
owns
spot.
Fridays.
Fleckus Friday, we have culture. Now we have the podcast. The podcast is going to be a perfect Friday podcast. Things are chill at work. You want to let loose. It's not going to be your Monday morning Ben Shapiro. Let's kick this thing off with some information coming down the pipe. You know, his show's great, but this will be a little bit different, a little more loosey-goosey. It's perfect for a Friday. We're locking down Friday. We put a hotel on Boardwalk.
We took Friday. We put a hotel. Don't land on Friday.
Don't land on Friday, or you're going to have to pay. All right. Just kidding. No one's got to pay. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one. 100.